Hi, and welcome back to Pinky Boo Hauntings. I'll be your witchy host, Shy, and I'll be your guide to all things paranormal, weird, and spooky. I can't believe we've only got a week before Christmas. Are you guys ready? Do you still have some last minute shopping to do? Or are all your presents wrapped nicely under the tree, ready to be ripped open? I know I sure am ready. We actually did the smart thing for once and got most of our shopping done early in November. So once the tree was wrapped. So once the tree was up, all I had to do was wrap them and get them under the tree. It kind of felt nice not having to stress about getting everything ready. But let's get straight to the stories because I've got some long ones today. The first story is there was a mimic knocking at my door. As a hoodoo practitioner, YouTuber, and storyteller, the creepy and unexplained are basically my everyday life. Oh, same. Well, except the hoodoo part, of course. My whole channel is dedicated to the paranormal, so none of this is new to me. I've always believed in the spirit world, but believing in something and experiencing it in your own home, that hits different, even for me. Oh, I get that. It's a trippy thing to actually experience the paranormal versus just hearing about it. Back in 2023 to 2024, I lived in Covington, Georgia, a small, quiet area that felt like home to me. I'm a country girl at heart, so homesteads, trees, and land always feels better than concrete and high rises. But that neighborhood, something about it was off. I could never shake the feeling that something watched me. Not a neighbor, not an animal, something else. Seriously, that is one thing that still gets to me sometimes. That feeling of being watched when you know there is no one around. And I'm used to things being around me and watching me, so I know that feeling would really freak someone out that is not used to it. But I brushed it off until one night proved I was not imagining a damn thing. I was doing my usual nighttime routine, winding down, preparing to lay in bed and have a smoke, when I heard a noise. It was subtle at first, like my cat, Oracle, patting around one of her toys. She's a hider, always up under my bed where she feels safest. But then I realized the sound wasn't playful. It was knocking. Slow, deliberate, too rhythmic to ignore. I got quiet and listened harder. The knocks were definitely coming from the front door of my tiny home. I knelt down, ear closer to the floor to pinpoint it, and that's when I heard something else. A voice. Nah, no thank you. I don't care who is on the other side of that door. It could be a person or a ghost. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. Clear as day, right outside my door. Luna. Hey, Luna. Again, that. Especially if they know my name. It can go fuck itself. And the worst part, it sounded exactly like my godmother. Same tone, same cadence, same way she says my name. Except she would never come to my house after dark without calling me first. She would never stand outside whispering my name. And something in my spirit immediately told me this wasn't her, and you should listen to that for sure. Just to be sure, I stepped back and looked out my window towards her house. Her light was on. I could see her silhouette walking past her window, getting ready for bed, completely normal, completely unaware. But someone who sounded just like her was at my door calling my name. At that point, everything in my body went cold. Not fear, just that eerie primal awareness that you are dealing with something not human, something pretending. I knew what it was. I've heard stories my whole life, but I never expected to deal with one personally. So I went into practitioner mode. I laid down my protection, smoked my prayers, lit my candles, the whole nine, and the knocking continued for a bit, along with little whispers like it was waiting for me to slip. And then, after about 10 minutes, silence. It left, and I never heard it again. But I'll tell you this, I'll never forget the sound of my godmother whispering my name from the other side of that door. And whatever it was, it wanted me to open it. Yeah, I don't know all of the little details about mimics, but I do know they like to obviously mimic people you're close to try and trick you into letting them in. I mean, it couldn't be anything good, but I never really understand the end game. I also never really wanted to find out either. I just know you never let them in. Luckily, you were a practitioner, so you already had the tools and know how to protect yourself. We've only got one more story. Like I said, they were long, so I only had two for today. This one is called The Old Church in, I'm gonna absolutely butcher this, but Village Hippopochi? I don't think I pronounced it at all right. Seriously, I'm so sorry for even trying to attempt that, but it's in there, so I had to at least attempt it. I'm sorry again. We have an old church in my village. My grandmother remembers it from when she was little. Beautiful, solid, still alive. She says it was built long ago, in the early 1900s, and after the war, it was shut down and left to crumble. But the strange things, she told me, started later. I feel like I should go bum bum bum. Wait, that doesn't really make sense, does it? Never mind. Still, love the suspense though. Grandma told me about the worker from the woodworking factory near the church. One day he cut his finger off. Just an accident. But after that, she said, he wasn't the same. I probably wouldn't be the same if I lost a finger either. He began talking about a shadow he'd seen inside the church. A person standing facing the wall, and the shadow moved, as if it was turning its head. He said he heard footsteps up on the choir loft, and cold German voices whispering. They sent him to the hospital back then. Years passed, and in 2020, the village decided to restore the church. And that man, Grandma said, returned at that exact time. It's like he was connected to that church, but why? I get he lost a finger near the church, but why would that make him be connected to it? That's kind of weird. He kept warning everyone, don't go in there. It's still there. I saw it. Nobody listened. They never do they? When the workers started cleaning the place, everything was quiet at first. Then That man went inside, said he needed to show them where it stands. He began screaming, and the ambulance took him away. Grandma said he died on the way. What the hell? What is in that church? Even if this man was just going through something mentally, it was real to him and it clearly killed him. After that, the workers started seeing figures on the choir loft and hearing footsteps behind them, even when no one was inside. Some said the cold inside felt wrong, not like winter cold, but something sharper. I know what that kind of cold feels like. It really is something you can't truly explain, but you know when you feel it. It really does feel off and not like any cold you've ever felt before. A priest came to calm everyone down. He went into the church alone, stayed only a few minutes, and walked out pale as chalk. Grandma said he only whispered, "It's cold. It isn't natural." Soon after that, all restoration work suddenly stopped. Officially, technical reasons. But my grandmother just shook her head and said, "That wasn't technical. They just didn't want to be disturbed." Now, the church stands empty. People still say they hear footsteps inside. Sometimes the windows fog up from inside, even though there is no heat, no people, nothing. I am using a translator, so some words may be wrong. They can't be more wrong than how I butchered that town name, so I think you're fine. But yeah, never mind about what I said earlier. He was absolutely seeing something. Still can't understand why he was the only one at first, or why it only started after the injury. That's so strange. But the paranormal really is just that. And we don't understand everything when it comes to it. We barely even scratched the surface of it. I also do believe, while he did see something, he also ended up going crazy as well. Probably somewhat from the thing he saw, but also from those around him not believing him and sending him off like they did. Either way, the stress definitely got to him and most likely was the cause of his death. I'm not sure if it was a spirit that killed him. I do think it's weird. After his death, the spirits started showing themselves to everyone else. It's also a shame he wasn't believed until after he died. I wish he could have had that satisfaction to be like, "See, I told you it was real." Well, that's all I have for this episode. If you're enjoying this, don't forget to rate and review the podcast and like if you're watching YouTube. Oh, and if you have a story of your own you'd like to share, you can send it to me. The email will be in the show notes and the description. I'd love to hear from you guys. But for now, the coven is adjourned. See you next time. Bye.